Mr. Follow Up with Fly High Productions. Let's take a trip down to New Orleans. We're going to follow up on this case. We talking about the Joseph Washington. Joseph Washington allegedly set his house on fire with his kids in it, 4 to be exact. New Orleans PD are being investigated in their response to the 911 call. Let's take a look and see what's going on down here. All my videos are covered by fair use.
911, what's the location of the emergency?
It's 4911 America Street, New Orleans, Louisiana. We have a past history of domestic violence, but he's like sending me threats saying if I come back to the house and my kids are still there, and he's saying that he will leave them in the house, and he's telling me not to come back to the house. If I come back to the house, he's going to kill me.
It is a tragedy that has rocked our community. 3 children under the age of 10 killed in a house fire in New Orleans East.
The children's father, Joseph Washington, is now charged with setting the fire and leaving the children inside before driving off.
Outraged tonight by both the community and government over the fire that killed 3 young siblings.
We are covering breaking developments just hours after her confirmation as NOPD superintendent. Ann Kirkpatrick calls for an investigation because officers did not arrive to the scene until roughly 26 minutes after the children's mother called 911.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
Hi, 4911 America Street, New Orleans, Louisiana. He's going crazy. His name is Joseph. Can you please hurry? I'm at work.
What's going on?
He's screaming on the phone. I heard the kid screaming. He's screaming on the phone. Y'all have to just break through the door before anything happens, please. He said he's about to burn the house on fire. Can you just please hurry?
And today, when police were asked about their response time, they said it's still under investigation. EMS saying today it was an 11-minute response. Their goal is under 12 minutes to any high priority call.
Meanwhile, the father of the young victims, who were 3, 5, and 8 years old, now faces upgraded charges of 3 counts of first-degree murder.
Minutes past midnight, a neighbor who saw the house burning called 911.
The fire department on around here. ASAP. Our house is burning up, and I don't know if there are no children in there. Hurry up, ma'am. Hurry up.
6 minutes after the neighbor called, the fire department arrived on the scene. Call logs show EMS arrived around 15 minutes after firefighters, and then around 26 minutes after the first call from the children's mother, police finally showed up.
NOFD tells me that they were dispatched, and they arrived very quickly. They got there within 5 minutes. They got there at 12:14 a.m. And it isn't until they get there that then NOPD gets dispatched, and they too get there within only just 5 minutes. So my question is, why at 11:55 wasn't fire and NOPD dispatched? Because you know what? If they got there within 5 minutes, they would have been there around 12:01, just a few minutes after that father had left. Maybe the circumstances would have been different.
There were no units available, therefore no one could be assigned to go to it. Now, if there had been a unit available that was the other side of the 7th District, who knows?
Good evening, I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Meg Gatto. The NOPD takes criticism after the Orleans Parish Communications District says no officers were available to respond to the initial 911 call about the house fire that killed 3 children.
Andres Fuentes has the latest from the 911 center and reaction from city council members.
At 11:54 Tuesday evening, the mother of the 3 children called 911 asking for immediate help while she was on her way home from work.
He's going crazy. His name is Joseph. Can you please hurry?
She told the call taker the father of her children threatened to burn the house down with all of her kids inside.
He's screaming on the phone. I heard the kid screaming. He's screaming on the phone. Y'all have to just break through the door before anything happens, please.
According to OPCD Interim Executive Director Carl Fassold, the call taker immediately wrote up a report for a police response, but there were no NOPD units available.
The first incident was created in CAD, an NOPD incident for domestic disturbance code 2. So that's a lights and siren call, as you guys know.
Fassold says that's the highest type of call, which warrants immediate response from an available NOPD unit.
There were no units in a clear status that she could simply dispatch someone to the call.
Y'all don't know what we had to live through that night with these poor kids being Good evening to Eugenia and Sulla. Yeah, community members already rallying in support, and family members are actually here on scene right now, placing flowers and candles at the home where the 3 kids were killed. They tell me they are absolutely devastated at this time. I'm also hearing that the mother of these 3 kids loved them unconditionally.
While the OPCD looks into whether they did all that they could correctly in this case, NOPD Interim Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick says the police department will do the same.
I have formally opened a PIB investigation so that we can look at everything associated with NOPD's side of this concern. And because of that, I will not be able to take really any questions regarding that, because once an investigation is open, we do not want in any way to taint anything associated with an investigation. But I did want the community to know that we are going to look at everything associated with NOPD's role and response.
People are being killed. Women, children are losing their lives. And let me just be very clear that people who are perpetrating this type of violence in their homes are also doing it in our streets. So if we took domestic violence maybe a little bit more seriously, maybe we'd have a safer city.
Once I hit the end of my hall, you could just see the house engulfed in flames. And all I could think about is, where are the kids?
This neighbor was too shaken up to be seen on camera, but says she was present with the mother of the 3 kids as firefighters worked to get the children out of the home here along America Street. Officials say the first 2 kids, a 5-year-old girl and 8-year-old boy, unfortunately died at a hospital. Eventually, the 3-year-old was recovered from the home. He was pronounced dead on scene. This surveillance video captures the moments Washington appears to have walked from the house with it still on fire. Washington's father was seen at the home just hours after the fire, trying to salvage pictures of his 3 grandchildren before pleading for his own son to turn himself in.
Joseph, turn yourself in. That's what you best do. Turn yourself in, Joseph. And that ain't no lie. Turn yourself in.
This man says he did yard work for the couple Tuesday afternoon, and Washington showed no signs of frustration at the time.
Once I knocked on the door, he came to the door, called her, and she came to the door. We spoke, and everything was calm, cool, and collective. I mean, there were no indications that something like this would go on.
Seeing the house is sad. It shows what some of these kids are dealing with, at home.
Joseph Washington is now charged in this crime, but neighbors say this is a day they'll never forget.
We've seen these kids for their entire lives, and we have to sit here and look at that house and know they lost their lives over there. They was just innocent kids. They were babies. They were just happy kids. And it's just a tragedy that our whole community has to deal with.
According to OPCD, take a look. That first call, it came in at 11:55 p.m. Police sent out a broadcast shortly after. NOFD was dispatched at 12:09. Police, they were dispatched at 12:15. EMS, they were dispatched at 12:18. Police got on scene at 12:20 a.m. Fire, they got on scene at 12:14 a.m. and EMS eventually arrived at 12:29 a.m.
Condolences to the family.
Don't you speak to me if you ain't saying nothing nice. Sometimes riding solo, but I'm mostly with the guys. See me at the bottom, but I'm steady on the rise. Shawty cheated once, no I won't let her do it twice.